Let's drain the lymphatic fluid from your lower body. If you deal with bloating, low back pain, heaviness in your legs or feet, this video is for you. Starting at the base of the neck, we're going to do some gentle skin pulls right here at the throat below the clavicle. We are clearing the tension from this tissue. So when we pull all this lymphatic fluid, it can circulate back to the heart. Just a few gentle pulls. You can go above and below the clavicle and do inward skin pulls on this collarbone area. The amount of time doesn't really matter, 10, 15, 30 seconds, as long as we're relieving tension. Going to the side of the neck, I'm gonna go thumbs in front, pointer fingers in back, and we're just gonna gently, mostly use our elbows to pull the skin gently down on the sides of our neck. And we're just relieving the tension in this tissue so things can flow. When we start working with our lymph, Spock hands in front and behind the ears, pick it up, and end with a downward pull. And you can do a few of those on each side of the ear. You have lymph nodes and cranial nerves that live in this area. Moving to the armpit, right under this pec muscle, gentle skin pulls inward. You may find yourself swallowing, coughing, burping, stomach gurgling, getting a little gassy. This can all happen when you're moving lymph. We're gonna move to the diaphragm next. So hand on the soft part of your diaphragm, other hand on the side of the ribs. And we're gonna just do gentle skin pulls inward, making sure this lymphatic reservoir in the gut, the cisterna chyli, is nice and open and tension is relieved. And we're just gonna lightly stimulate some circles right above the belly button here. Now moving to the lower body half, we have about like 1 to 20 lymph nodes on the inside of each hip bone here. So we wanna take our hands and just relieve the tension, pulling upwards towards our belly button. I am not pressing in, I am pulling, coaxing that fluid upward towards my heart. If you have a bigger belly, do this laying down or standing up. You can just pull the skin out of the way and get as close to the inside of that hip bone as possible. And then the final place we want to stimulate is right behind the knees. These lymph nodes behind the knees are going to drain the lower leg, the calves, and the foot. You may find yourself swallowing again. So if you sit a lot for work, if you are on a long flight and this knee stays bent, you are putting tension and pressure on those lymph nodes, and then the lower leg pressure system can't fully circulate. So that's why you get swollen ankles or feet or heaviness in the lower body, because we're not getting a lot of movement in, and there's pressure and tension in the tissue on those lymph nodes, so they can't properly drain. So we're going to start draining the legs. You're going to start closest to the groin, closest to these inguinal lymph nodes in the hip, and we're going to move down towards the foot. Do not start at the foot and then drain up towards the groin. That's not how it works. All this tissue will be backed up and stuck, and it won't help the lower leg drain. So we gotta clear the channels first in the upper groin area. Now you can do this through clothing like I'm going to do in this video. You can do this on bare skin. You can add oils or lotions if you feel you need it. The motion will be the same for all ways of doing this. We're going to create a half circle ending with a pull towards the groin, and you're going to overlay the last area you covered. So every area is getting touched twice before we clear the fluid. So starting on the inside of the groin here, you can do this sitting down, it's best. And we're gonna start closest to the groin. Most of our lymph lives on this inner thigh area. I'm gonna back up because I wanna be able to be in frame for you folks watching. So we're gonna start, I like to have a hand placed like very close to each other. So I'm covering a lot of surface area. We're going to do a half circle ending with a pull. I'm gonna do like 3 to 5 of these in one area. Again, swallowing, coughing, and stomach gurgling. Then I move just a little bit. I'm still covering half that last area. Circles. And you can also do motions like this, like kind of where I'm pressing my fingers out like a pumping motion. And then slowly working our way down to the knee. I'm gonna start pulling this fluid in towards the inner thigh as I move. Getting a lot of good swallows. Again, you can do this without clothing on. You can do this with oils or lotions. It's still moving lymphatic fluid. It's really all about this gentle touch and this technique. So I'm just gonna kind of back it up, make sure I'm really going, and I'm not pressing in with my hands. I'm just kind of connecting to the tissue and moving those top few layers. Those lymph nodes are really superficial to the surface, and then just some swiping motions. And you can bring this outside thigh to to the inner groin and then up towards those inguinal lymph nodes. That already feels better. I feel more clear, especially when we clear this lower body. It really like creates a pressure change in the whole body. So for this next part, I'm just gonna hold my leg up for you guys, but you can get in whatever position's comfortable. We're starting closest to those popliteal lymph nodes. And same thing, I'm creating, like, come here, lymph, drain from me. Give me freedom and range of motion. And then just slowly moving down. Again, most of this lymph will live back on the posterior side of our calf. We really want to spend a lot of time here. So I'm going to take the front of the knee and bring it behind to those lymph nodes behind the knee. This is the bottleneck area. So again, if you're not moving a lot, if you're sitting a lot, this area is going to stagnate right below the knee. So we really want to make sure we're spending some time clearing this lower leg. We do have a few lymph nodes that live on either side of the malleoli and a few, like 1 or 2 in the heel. So I'm just going to take some time and do some light presses or just some light swiping motions around that little malleolus on my ankle on both sides. And then on my heel, I'm going to take it and like press my hand up, like pumping the heel. Because again, we do have 1 to 2 lymph nodes here. I'm only going to drain one leg, but please drain both. You have lymph fluid in both legs. I just don't want to make this video too long for you folks. And then I'm going to get a little closer and we'll work on our toesies. So the toes are going to be very similar to how we drain the hand if you've seen those videos. So we're going to pull this fluid from the bottom of the foot towards the ankles on either side. Sorry, I know, it's like, what's the etiquette on showing your feet all night? Like, I don't know. And then just the top in between. So I'm going in between the bones of my metatarsals, of my toes, pulling that fluid down and swiping it, and then bringing everything up. So make sure this leg's cleared, bring it up, work on this one too, and repeat the same on the other leg. Just make sure before you do this that you are opening all those 7 major lymph nodes that we did in the beginning, because again, it's a circulatory pressure system. It goes around and around from head to foot, high pressure to low pressure. So you want to relieve the tension and the pressure in those 7 major lymphatic node checkpoints before you drain the lower body. And yes, you can just drain the lower body, you can just drain the face, you can just drain the arms, the belly, but you want to be working with those 7 major lymphatic channels. If you have a question, leave it below. Drain both legs. It doesn't matter which one you do first, but your left side will actually have most of the lymph in your body return to this side. This side on your left is going to drain the arm, the chest, the back, the face on the left, the whole gut, and both legs. So lefty drains a lot. Lefty is draining this whole quadrant of our body. Righty is just draining my chest, my back, my arm, and my face. So spend a little extra time on the lower body and make sure you're really relieving tension on the upper clavicle area.